Yeah, what's your question?
You're talking about making sacrifices for things.
Making sacrifices for things, okay?
So when you say that you sacrifice things now so you don't have to sacrifice things later, but I could give you an example. Like I like playing video games, right? If that's something I enjoy.
Yeah, just to stop you for a second, how much money is playing video games making you?
None.
Does it help your relationship with your wife?
No.
Do your kids enjoy when they're getting time taken away from them? What's the best thing video games does for you?
It makes me happy.
Just makes you happy. Games make you happy. Do you hear the language you're using? What else makes you happy?
Food.
Food. Okay. What about just a decision? Have you ever thought about just choosing to be happy? So if you just chose to be happy right now, do you need to play that video game?
No.
What else would you do if you were happy?
I don't know.
What would you do if you were with your wife right now and you just decided to be happy and you had the option to choose between Grand Theft Auto or call it whatever you play, or spend time with the wife and kids, or go to work? Because now you're in the right environment, in the right mood, in the right physiology. What are you gonna do?
I'd like to spend time with my wife.
So why not play video games instead though? Like you're happy, why not go ahead and play the video game, make yourself even more happier? Like, do you see how it doesn't serve you very well? So what are you really trying to ask with that?
I guess it's like why? I don't know.
What do video games actually do for you? Like, how do they serve you well? Besides making you happy. And what would you like to do instead? Like, when you're 85, do you still want to be playing video games?
I don't know.
If that's meaningful to you, like, hold on to it. That's your stuff, not mine. How much time do you spend a week playing video games?
Maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, and how good are all your relationships, Adam?
All of them? Not great.
Not great. Are you comfortable just without changing anything? You just keep doing what you're doing for the rest of your life. Is that something you would appreciate? You don't want to stay where you're at? You don't want to keep getting what you're getting? Then I guess you got to stop doing what you're doing then, right? Like these beliefs you hold to be true that are really not, at least in my world. Maybe they won't be for you one day, but like you've got to change those, dude. If you want to stay the same, that's fine. You can keep playing the video games. You can keep having half-assed relationships. But how well is it going to serve you long term? Now, if you sacrifice the video games now and you focused on getting better and picking up your skill deficiencies, that getting rid of that self-doubt that we burned the other day with hypnosis, what do you think life would be like instead? If we cut out all this that you have right now. If we completely did a radical shift and focused on work and empowering your wife and owning up to your decisions. That means you have to sacrifice video games right now though, right? What would they do for your life later? Liberating. Like 30 years from now, what are you doing? If you didn't play video games, you just woke up, you're spending the day with your wife, how do you feel? What do you see? What do you hear?
I can imagine spending more quality time with my wife.
More quality time. What would that make you feel? Loved. Awesome. So let's say, just make that picture small and dark, put it in the lower left-hand corner. Now, what I want you to bring to mind instead is like, imagine you just keep playing video games and you keep getting what you're getting right now. 30 years from now, you wake up. What's your life like?
Still working, unhappy.
Unhappy? Doesn't sound like those video games are making you too happy then right now, dude. Is that the life you want to keep living? Is that the life you want in 30 years? Then I guess you got to change what the you're doing, dude. Do you see what I'm saying? If you don't sacrifice it now, you're gonna have to sacrifice the happiness you want later. Because it's really not serving you as well as you think it is. Trust me, I like playing video games myself. Those battle royales where I get to cuss out 12-year-old kids who are on school break, like I like feeling important. I like the validation it gives me because I'm one of the best. You guys saw me at bowling, I can do some pretty crazy shit. Like I'm just good at whatever I do. Why? Because I'm in flow state, I put my mind to it, I just give it everything I got. Now, don't make excuses. Putting that type of energy into something like that, do you think it's going to serve me well long term? Then I guess if it's not worth doing well right now, it's not worth doing at all. Is Warren Buffett playing video games? Is Elon Musk playing video games? Elon might be. Elon's the exception. Daddy Elon. But does that answer your question?
Yeah.
If you don't sacrifice it now, you'll have to sacrifice it later when you really don't want to, and it's even more meaningful to you. That makes sense? So everyone's doing the best with the resources they have. I wanted to dig into this because all behaviors come from positive intent. Even though my older cousin me, he had a positive intent behind that. Very heinous act though, right? But what if he was just trying to get that depression off his shoulders? That's positive for him, right? He was doing the best with what he had. Can you guys kind of see the positive intent behind that? Even though the behavior was absolutely unacceptable. Now I can choose to either hold on to that baggage and be a victim, blame him, or I can choose to blame him effectively and thank him for what it made me into today. Which belief do you think is going to serve me better? If I play the victim card, why me? I got There's nothing against people with that. It's not fun talking about, but I've accepted it. It's happened. Which belief do you think is going to serve me better? Yeah, being thankful for it. It sounds but I am, because it made me into the thick-skinned person I am today. It gave me a lot of EQ, emotional intelligence. And I didn't make any excuses. I didn't play that as my card. That wasn't my get-out-of-jail-free card. I held it in until I was 24 because I didn't want to deal with it. But when I faced it, it was so empowering. I didn't tell anybody that till last December. That I was why I didn't know what it was. I thought it was boys having fun. Why? Because my thinking came from him. That was my truth of the world. That was my model. That was my map of reality. Does it make it right? Absolutely not. Still unacceptable. But I chose to not let that be a limit, but an accelerant. And a belief that I could find in myself. That no matter what happens, I can make it do that. I can make it do anything. Help someone else prevent that from happening. That's saving a life, right? Pretty empowering to me. It's like everyone's doing the best with the resources they have. Like if someone broke into your car, let's say you walked into the gas station, you come out and you notice your phone is missing from the center console and the glass is busted. How do you feel? Pissed? Mad, angry, resentful? Now how would you feel if it was your brother who just didn't want to tell you he was homeless and he's just been lying to you and he had to sell that phone to get food to provide for his kid? How would you feel then? Understanding. And it's okay for you to be pissed. You have a right to be pissed. But the meaning of it changes, right? He was doing the best with what he had. That's why it's important not to judge people, but judge the behavior. Judge the context of it. Was it within ecology? Was he doing, everyone is doing the best with what they have. And the moment you accept that, you can stop blaming other people so much. You can stop judging people so harshly. Because you're doing the best with what you got. Do you want to be judged by it? Do you want to be judged by your decisions? No, none of us do. But it takes so much weight off your shoulders when you just can look at somebody and say, you know what? They're doing the best with what they have. You guys understand what I'm talking about? Awesome. So you are in charge of your mind, therefore your results. While I'm a loving and compassionate person, I urge you to give up arguing for your limitations or why you don't have what you want in life. Because whose fault is it? You are in charge of your mind, therefore your results. Just like I'm in charge of my mind, therefore my results. You get what you tolerate. If you tolerate half-assery, what are you going to get? Half-ass relationships, half-ass results, half-ass life. Now if you tolerate simply nothing but excellence and the best, sounds pretty cool, right? So everything you have right now is because it's only what you can handle. How many of you guys have seen people ask for money and they get it and they blow it because they don't know how to handle it? Does this make sense, or do I need to drive it home farther? People ask to win the lottery. People ask for the CEO position. But if you're a stingy ass person with $100, do you think you're going to be sharing with $1 million? You'll still be stingy. Like money doesn't change you. It just magnifies and exposes who you really are. Like in times of comfort and fear, people show their true colors. People will ask for $1 million, but not the skill to manage it. That's why they blow it. That's why people, like athletes, go broke a year after retiring, 2 years after retiring. You guys have heard these stories, right? People you used to see on TV are homeless now. The Island Boys. You guys ever heard of those people? The Island Boys? Okay, well, these two little punk ass kids who got really popular for that Island Boys song that went viral on TikTok, and now they're hundreds of millions of dollars in sponsors, whatever, gifts. What did they spend it on? Chains, gold teeth, girls, drugs. They didn't know how to manage their money. And now they're broke. Imagine buying like $1 million house and then not even being able to live in there for half a year. Kind of right? Like most people would ask for something but not the skill to possess or manage it. Life is going to give you everything you ask from it just to see if you can handle it. God, give me a good relationship. Awesome girl comes along and you why? You couldn't handle it. You didn't build the skills up, the character traits, the beliefs. These are things that you have to keep building up. And like I said, the same belief that causes a problem is not the same one that's going to solve it. So each time you level up, what gets you to level 1 will not get you to level 2. And what gets you to level 2 won't get you to level 3. Hard work will not make you rich. How many of you guys uplines have told you just keep dialing, and just dial for the next 10 years? Build an agency, make me money. I want overrides. Now imagine being your downline. What are you telling them? Same thing. Just rehearse, like reciting cute talking points. It's despicable. Like, just be real with people. So you're in charge of your mind, therefore results. You're going to get exactly what you can tolerate. If you don't tolerate anything less than excellence, live a pretty kick-ass life and have a good process. All procedures should increase wholeness.